Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Monday Kick in the Pants. Angela Fallon here, bringing you a gentle push to help you level up in your life, fill you with a dose of Monday motivation, and provide tips to accelerate your success in your career and in life. Welcome back. It's always good to see you guys every Monday here. I really hope that you feel that this is something you get truly motivation out of it, and not just motivation, but you actually learn something, you get value out of what we bring to you all each week. Just make sure my phone's turned off there. So last week we talked about how I got a couple of questions. Actually, they came from Instagram 2 weeks ago now, maybe. Anyways, and I thought I would just answer them here in Monday Kick in the Pants, just so you could all benefit from the response that I gave the person that was asking me these questions. So last week, one of the ones that I went over was, the first question is, at what stage or age in your life did you realize that you had to balance between whether it's health, family, work, whatever, what was the age that you had to start thinking about those things? And I talked about that last week. So if you missed it, go back, whether you're on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, whatever, go check that out. And you'll kind of hear me answer, you need to learn your balance, or whatever you want to call it, integration, whatnot, as soon as possible. Even whenever it's just you and you don't have, oh, my phone, my camera's moving a little bit. Even if it's just you or you and a dog or whatever, and you don't have a spouse and kids and all of the things, maybe a corporate career and a side business, the the full thing. Maybe you don't have something like that, and that's okay. You still should have your own personal balance within you. And again, I talk a lot about that last week. So the follow-up question, though, from this same person was, what are the first steps that you took towards creating this lifestyle that you want? And everyone's lifestyle is different. So for some people, career is number one, especially if you may be a young single person that is very ambitious. And there's a lot of high achievers out there. And career is very important, and you feel very rewarded from it. And your career may be in a corporate setting. It may be a working for a nonprofit. It may be something to the effect of your own business. There's plenty of 30-year-old millionaires out there. There really are. And maybe that's something that really drives you. Honestly, my understanding is most millionaires, and I forget what the what do you call it? The statistic is, but I think it's like 80 or more percent of millionaires out there have a huge passion for what they do. People that are extremely successful and tend to make a lot of money is because they found something that they absolutely love doing and love supporting. Many of you know that what I do in the defense industry is extremely important to me. Supporting our warfighter and our allies is extremely important to me. You guys know that I'm married to the warfighter. That's huge for me. But how do you create a lifestyle balancing all of the things that we accept on our plates, right? So, what are the first steps that we take? So, I actually put a two-step process in here, but the first step is kind of multi things. All right. Sorry, I am like itchy all of a sudden. So, the first step that I took in creating the lifestyle that I wanted was to follow the process you learn whenever you get on an airplane. When you get on an airplane and they go through the whole safety things, and they say, if we lose pressure in the cabin, what do they tell you? Put your mask on first. Put your mask on first, because you can't help anybody else if you pass out with lack of oxygen. You have to put your mask on first. It is no different in life. It's no different when you're a parent or a spouse or a sister or a brother or a child of someone or a grandchild or whatever, or maybe you're a grandparent. You have to put your mask on first. As women specifically tend to be more apt to help everybody else and run themselves down. I'm not saying everyone is like that. That's a I wouldn't say it's a stereotype, but it's what I've seen the most of. I do coach mostly women, but not only women. I also coach men. And I tend to see that women give themselves to everybody else before they put themselves on their priority list. So you really have to put your mask on first. And to me, those first steps to me of putting your mask on first meant I had to create my own time for the day. I had to create time for just me. And I found out that my personal me time was everything. It's what filled me up for the entire day. The entire day. And it's still that way today. The only problem today is my kids are getting up earlier and earlier because of the different things they do. My oldest gets up to exercise and make his lunch and his breakfast and all of the things. My second son gets up to be at cross country at 6 a.m. So my kids are getting up earlier and earlier. And I'm at the point where I'm like, okay, maybe I need to get up a little bit before 5 o'clock. So I can get even just 15 minutes to myself because that time by myself with my warm cup of half calf coffee and whatever motivation I'm listening to that morning or listening to God's word or whatever, that time for me is everything. It makes me a better person. It makes me a better mom. It makes me a better employee and a better wife. So I have to put that mask on first for me. I have to have time to myself. The other things I do on putting myself first is I make sure I drink enough water a day. For some reason, the older I've become, the more I think sensitive to dehydration I've become. So not that I dehydrated and passed out or anything, but I find myself not drinking enough water because I get busy with work and all of the other things and the kids and driving people around, maybe making dinner or lunches or whatever. And normally that's for me, honestly, the meal prep and everything. But I have to track my water. So having my morning time in the morning early and then tracking my water. And then the third thing that I do for myself to put my mask on first is I have to get the right amount of sleep. And to me, it's about 7 hours. Some people need 8. Some people can live on 6.5. For me, it's right around 7. 7 is like a sweet spot for me, 7.5 ish. More than that, I wake up and my body hurts. Yes, at 43, my body hurts if I sleep too long. I remember my parents telling me this when I was younger, and my dad's like, I can't sleep in like you teenagers do. My whole body hurts if I don't get up. So I just get up and I feel better. And I'm like, you're weird. And now things have changed. I might be a lot like my dad now. So, anyways, I try to get about 7 hours of sleep at night. So, in order to do that, I set an alarm for bed because I know what time I need to get up in the morning, and it's about the same time every day. I set an alarm for bed. So me putting my mask on, my mask on first, taking care of me first means again, morning quiet time, tracking my water, and then setting an alarm for bed. It's kind of funny to do that, but like we set an alarm to wake up. Why wouldn't we set an alarm to remind ourselves to go to bed? It's the same kind of thing. It's a reminder. Hey, you need to get up in the morning. Hey, you need to go to bed so you can get up in the morning, right? The last thing I have here for putting my mask on first is as a mom, always taking care of, we have 3 boys, and then, my husband needs things too, right? I used to feel guilty for things. In fact, I would feel guilty for going to get a pedicure for like $40. Now, pedicures don't cost really $40 anymore, but um, I would feel guilty for doing things for myself. Even like that 30 minutes just for me, I would feel guilty. And then I realized that's ridiculous. You do so much for everybody else. $30 pedicure, or even now it's about 50 bucks, $50 pedicure, $30 for my nails, whatever. That's my me time, and I need that time for me. And it's important for me as a corporate woman to feel professional. And one thing for me is getting my nails painted. And the only other reason I like getting my nails painted is because I am a long time nail biter, believe it or not. Um, it's like a nervous tick, believe it or not, and I've chewed my nails for so long. I don't anymore, but it's because I paint them, and that's something for me, and I think that's a good thing for me. It's a good thing for me to not have, like, my nails gnawed down to the quick, you know? Um, and and then it even helps me to not be having that nervous tick in meetings at work, even in church. There's times I'm sitting in church and I start chewing on my nails, and my husband's like, "What's going on with you? What are you stressing about?" He knows that it's a nervous tick for me. And it's normally like anxiety of, oh my God, what are the things I have to do today and to get ready for the week? But so those are the things that I do for my two-step thing. The first step is put your mask on first. I had to put my mask on first. So, if you want to know what the simple steps are to start creating a life you want for your lifestyle or for your family or whatever, um, the first step is to put your mask on first. You have to take care of yourself so you can start taking care of everybody else because you already are taking care of everybody else. And I always tell people you cannot pour out of an empty cup. If you keep pouring out your help and your love and your energy and your time all the time, at some point you will go empty and then you won't be good to anybody. So you have to continue to fill yourself. And for me, it's in the morning. I do that to myself in the morning. I fill myself in the morning. I even try to exercise in the morning most of the time. If I don't get it before I get all the kids out of the house, I may do it at lunch or, right before lunch. And then, eat lunch while I'm cooling off. So my first step is put your mask on first. The second step is number one makes you better at everything else. So the key is you have to learn to put yourself first again. That's the key because that's number one. And number two is number one makes you better at everything else. And I've already said that, right? I've already said that. When I become better myself every morning, I'm able to pour into everybody else. This morning, I really didn't get my quiet time and I was a little irritated and honestly a little snippy at both of my older boys this morning. And I know a lot of that is because I didn't have time to process in the morning how I feel and where I'm at and being ready for the day. It really is my quiet time and it really just kind of grates on me almost like physically I am not ready to be with people yet. If y'all didn't know that, I am absolutely an introvert. Absolutely. I know I am very social at work and I am very social with friends. Normally like 9 a.m. to like 6 p.m. is kind of my jam. Outside of that, my introversion takes over again, and I want to be in pajama pants and at home, maybe on the couch, listening to a book or vegging out, watching Virgin River or something. That's only been a recent thing. I normally don't watch much TV. So that's your simple two-step process. Put your mask on first and whatever that looks like to you. Like I said, mine is I require quiet time in the morning just by myself, sometimes even in the dark. I will sit in the dark and listen to like a Bible devotional or an online meditation. And then I also have to check my water because water is life, friends. It is definitely for me. And I set an alarm for bed because sleep is crucial. If you have anxiety, not sleeping is the worst thing you can do for yourself. And then stop feeling guilty for things, especially things that need to be important for you. I'm absolutely guarding off, no matter what, my budget to get my nails done each month. I guard it off. It is the one thing I do for myself, the one thing. So put your mask on first. And then two, everything else will be taken care of if you do number one. All right. I hope this is helpful for you. And again, this is common for women, but men sometimes need to hear this too. And maybe this is you as well. You are giving, giving, giving to everybody else. I've had a few deputies that are also men in my life, and they take care of a lot in their families. They take care of their parents, they take care of their spouse, their kids, maybe even bonus kids, and don't always take care of themselves, and they should. Most of them are pretty good about it and find time to go hang out with dudes and things like that, but not everybody does. So this is for you as well. All right. I think this is the simplest two-step process ever. I hope it was helpful for you. I hope you found value in this. And of course, I always, I really appreciate whenever you like, comment, love, whatever, subscribe if you're on YouTube. And that helps. It helps me out. It helps our team out. And then the only thing I was going to share with you all too is that if you didn't know that we put out a newsletter at least once a week, you're missing out. We highlight some of the podcasts that we put out regularly. I've done quite a few on travel tips and some other things like how to avoid jet lag. How do you pack in one bag? You guys have heard me talk about that quite a bit. So if you want to get on our newsletter, just drop the word newsletter below and we'll reach out to you to get your email address And we drop freebies in our newsletter all the time too. Simple systems that we may or may not share on this, and a lot of like helpful systems that we actually build in like a one sheet tool kind of, and provide that to everybody as well in our newsletter. So we hand out a lot of value for free in our newsletter. So if that's something you're interested in, just drop the word newsletter below wherever you're tuning in, and we'll get you on the list. All right. I hope you guys have a great Monday. I know this one was a little bit longer. We try to do this in 10 minutes or less. This simple 2 steps ended up taking 15 minutes. But I hope you guys have a great Monday and a great week. And I hope you all remember that if you're feeling overwhelmed or behind, I just want you to know that you're in the right place and it's the right time. You'll have a great week. Take care. All right.